Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. Okay, today we're going to do something that is a very common question I get, and we're going to address this, kind of explain what it is, why, all that good stuff. We've already read the thumbnail, so this is all about AntiSkate. And AntiSkate is controlled by this little knob, this little dial right back here on a lot of turntables. Now this method that I'm going to show you is very quick and easy, and you know what? It'll work on any turntable that has an AntiSkate adjustment. So first, what you're going to need to do is put on either a one-sided record, something with a smooth surface, or these Platter Mats. This is an acrylic Platter Mat from Hudson Hi-Fi that works just as good as well. Be advised that if you have an elliptical that is a pointed stylus, that it's probably going to scratch this up a little bit. So you can't do this indefinitely because it'll actually start cutting little grooves in there after time, and you probably want to avoid using one-sided records for that same reason. However, this method is still a great way to do it. Now, as we've talked about a lot in the past, typically you want to match this value to whatever the downforce is, the tracking force on the tone arm. However, that is not a precise method, and there actually is variance there. So the best way to do it is just to set it manually. And it's super, super easy. Now one thing that makes this kind of tricky is the fact that this is white and you can't tell that it's spinning. But right now the record is, or the platter is rotating. But before I show you how to set it, I want to show you what AntiSkate does. So by its nature, when you put a stylus down on a record, it has a tendency to pull towards the inside as the record rotates. And what happens is when it starts pulling towards the inside, it's pushing on that inner groove. Conversely, you don't want it pushing backwards on the outer groove either. So you want to find a complete neutral place where it's not pushing in or out, but it's just completely floating in terms of left to right movement wherever you place it. That way the groove and the position of the record dictates where this tone arm moves, not any other forces. So I'm going to set the AntiSkate to 0, and we're going to lower it down onto here, and you're going to see what happens with no AntiSkate. As you can tell, it wants to pull towards that inner spindle there. So we don't want that because, again, even though it's very gentle, there still is pressure pushing on those inner grooves. So that's going to distort your sound. It's going to give one channel precedence over another. It's not going to be balanced. It's going to wear your record, wear your needle out, all that kind of stuff. So we want, and again, that's zeroed out. That's no AntiSkate put in place whatsoever. So right now we have a tracking force of 2.5 grams. You can put it to 2.5. Let's do that. In fact, let's see what 2.5 on the AntiSkate to match the counterbalance does. This should work, but sometimes it's not perfect. Okay, in this case, it actually is pretty accurate. Sometimes you'll find it's still creeping a little bit inward. Sometimes you'll find that that's not completely accurate enough. So again, turning this back to 0, I want to show you a quick, dirty, and easy method. Not dirty, there's nothing wrong with it, but a quick and easy and the most accurate method to set your AntiSkate. All you need to do is lower your stylus onto the one-sided record or platter mat, and then adjust this. Now you need to keep pulling it back because it's not going to come back on its own. But you need to just place it down there and then keep turning the AntiSkate knob until it stops pulling. Now you don't want to go too far because what'll happen is it'll actually go to the outside edge. So we need to find that sweet spot where it's staying perfectly centered. So I'm adjusting this at the same time I keep positioning this kind of in the middle there. And we need to apply more, a little bit less, until we get that perfect sweet spot, which it looks like there it is. So in this case, it's just above 2.5. So again, a good baseline is this as a starting point, the counterbalance, 2.5 value. But in this case, we needed to go up a little bit closer, a little bit higher up there. So that ends up being the perfect amount for this particular setup. And every turntable is going to be different, so you're going to want to do that for your turntable. But it's a quick and easy way to do it, and hopefully that kind of explains to you, what AntiSkate is and why, it's worth setting and how to set it quick and easy. The trickiest thing may be getting a smooth surface like this. You don't want to do this on a regular record, wouldn't work because the groove is going to hold it in position. You need something that's smooth so it has the ability to travel left to right. So one-sided records, Platter Mats, you can get these pretty cheap. I think, probably 10, 20 bucks on eBay or Amazon. And it's really a good tool to have. If you have like an Ortofon or some kind, or not Ortofon, if you have a U-turn or some kind of turntable that has an acrylic platter, This one does not. This is the LP7. You can actually use that, but again, and it's going to be impossible to see on there, but this, because of these elliptical styli are really sharp, it actually does cut a little groove as it does that. So you probably don't want to do that to your acrylic platter if you have one. Definitely don't want to put it down on a steel one or any other material, especially felt. Platter mats would be really bad. But anyway, there you go. So I hope that was interesting, guys. Hope you're having a great day. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Make sure you tell your mother, if you can, Happy Mother's Day, that you love her. And that is all for today, guys. So happy record hunting and listening. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you real soon.